Live from the Now Media Newsroom.
Apparently, Zelensky says he's ready for peace talks. I don't know. Or sorry, election talks.
He's obviously trying to appease Trump here, isn't he?
So he's ready, but I mean, what does that mean, right?
It's like ready to build a pipeline.
He's making the rounds. He's like, in Finland. He's in the UK. He's meeting with the Three Stooges. I mean, the three. Sorry, did I say Stooges? Macron, Starmer, and Chancellor Schulz. Hey.
Schulz. It's not him anymore, is it? That was the old one. It's Merz now.
Oh,
But I mean, the very fact that you couldn't remember that just goes to show how insignificant Germany is now in foreign policy. It's just like, who even cares? Who even cares who the leader of Germany is? Like, what difference does it make?
And this is one where the Americans, again, they're just quick. And they are quick. The U.S. has purchased the entire production of rare earth mine in Brazil until 2030, covering what was already agreed with the EU. The EU Commissioner of Industry said last month I was supposed to go to Brazil and discuss the rare earth mine. 3 days before that, the Americans swooped in and just said, no, we bought it all until 2030. Sucks to be you.
It's a shame because the EU is so good with the climate and environmental regulations and all the rest of it. You would have thought, Mark Carney has told us that that's like the golden key that will open all doors. But nobody wants
to deal with the Americans because they don't have CCUS, carbon capture, utilization, and storage. I didn't get those numbers right. I mean, that's the biggest tax scheme they're going to push down our throats here. CCUS, carbon capture, utilization, storage. Good an acronym, right? That's always nice to have one of those, right? Because then you can hide anything you want in there, right? It should say the new, better, improved tax scheme. That's what it should say. But Americans went there and put money on the table. And again, you know what else they can put on the table? The one thing that the Americans can put on the table before anybody else can put on the table? The military. You want some protection? They're like the Italian mafia, right? You need protection? Who are you going to go to? Who are you going to call?
But it's even bigger than that, isn't it? I mean, we probably don't have time to go into all the ways that America controls the world, but financially as well. But the financial institutions, the IMF, all of these organizations, even the UN to some extent, is like within the control of the United States. It's headquartered in New York. Like the Americans, I don't know why people get so upset about this, but whether you like it or not, they are by such a massive distance, like the kingpins of this planet. And if they want something, as in this case, they're going to get it. To think that the Europeans go on and Mark Carney, that they go on about, like, we have all this clean technology, therefore we're going to get all these deals. Like, shut up, man. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about that.
You know what else Brazil wins at? If they do the deal with the Americans, they don't have to listen to insufferable fools tell them about clean carbon capture and all that stuff. They're just like, you want to buy some of this stuff? Here's the stuff. Give us some money. And plus, they also...
Well, not only that, but to be patronized on all other sorts of things, like their lack of transgender representation in Parliament or something. Like, they don't have to listen to any of those lectures. They can just get on with it, and it's a business transaction, and it's all about hard power, and it's a deal. I mean, the Americans, obviously, it's not quite that simple. The Americans do have a lot of expectations, but I think a lot of countries are going to find that easier to swallow than this sort of neurotic European Union asking and, well, part asking, part telling. Like, they're not bothered about that. Like, countries, they don't want to do that, especially when the European Union is pretty stagnant anyway. It's not exactly economically impressive.
You know, like when there's a joke laying there or an idea laying there, they're just so good. Why don't we copy those ideas? And these are ideas that are for the working class people, and they're laying there, and Trump has laid them out, and you're starting to hear the benefits of these things. The fruits are starting to come home. And here's Trump's kicking off like a blitz there in Pennsylvania there. And you got a young lady on stage there. And these are the things that Canada needs. These things would help Canadians right now that are having trouble putting food on their table. Let's listen in.
Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Thank you so much. As President Trump said, I'm a mom, a wife. I homeschool my 2 brilliant children. And the no tax on tips is incredible. No tax on overtime is incredible for my husband. And it all comes back to our family. It saves us, and it's for the future of our children. And it's been such a blessing to be home with them and to have them here with me tonight. And thank you for everything, President.
Is she just a random woman then? Just somebody that works in a restaurant? Americans, you know, it's easy to hate on Americans, but they are also like just amazing people, aren't they? That just a random woman that works in a restaurant or something is capable of addressing like thousands of people really confidently, clearly, lots of personality. Not many people around the world, not many countries can produce people like that. Like, it's something very special about America and Americans.
So the payoff is coming. This is Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent. You remember this guy said, too, when they asked him what his stock portfolio is doing? Because, you know, he's obviously on the inside track. What did he say? I don't have a stock portfolio. I sold it all because we need to sell it all because we can't be profiting off of that. And they said, well, what about a blind trust? And he said, no such thing as a blind trust. And then we said, well, couldn't Scott Bessent come to Canada? Because he could have a blind trust here. He could be raking it in. Scott Bessent, one of the... I really like Scott Bessent, and he's a straight shooter. And, you know, one of the things I really like about Scott Bessent is that he has a husband, and he never talks about it. He never plays that card. Imagine that in Canada. That card would be played all the time. But Scott Bessent confirms 100 to 150 billion in tax refunds coming in 2026, the largest in history, over $1,000 to $2,000 per household. And then they're starting that kids fund too. Like if anybody under 10 is going to get $1,000 in their bank account into a child savings account, and that's going to be huge for Americans. And they need to do that in Canada. These are easy ideas. Why don't they do it here? And here's a little clip from Fox on this, because they're starting to see these things start to come in. No tax on tips, no tax on overtime, Social Security deduction, no tax on American-made car loan interest. The green new scam regulations cut, and that's lowering the cost of cars by $1,000, $2,000, and the child tax credit expansion at $2,200. But let's play the clip here.
On tips and overtime, there's a max reduction for tips is $25,000. So imagine if you are somebody who uses tips as part of your salary or to make your living, that will have an impact. The senior deduction, you have to be 65 years old. It phases out at $75,000. But again, for people who are saying, gas prices, which are lower, but that food prices are higher, that it's hard for them, that might help as well. There's a no tax on car loan interest. Now, that can be helpful, but what might be even more helpful is what they announced last week, which is they're doing away with some of the EPA rules on these car and fuel mileage. That actually will help bring the cost of cars down, probably even more. And then a child tax credit expansion. That's very bipartisan. A lot of people like this. A lot of people love to see good economic news, but I would say Josh Holmes, our next guest here. Josh, you know communications very well. To me,
that's good. I mean, those are things that make an impact to people right away instead of $11.
Well, a lot of this is, you know, it's trying to release money to the people, isn't it, to increase demand and do it that way. Whereas the Canadian, the Liberal Party's idea is, we're not going to give you more money to spend yourself. We're going to take your money and we're going to create these huge bureaucracies like and programs like the dental program, pharmacare, all the rest of it. And then we're going to like sit there behind a desk and give you stuff. Yeah. If you come and ask us and become a part of the, you know, like submit yourself to the bureaucracy. Whereas the Americans are like, okay, we'll just cut the tax so you can work and keep more of your money, and we'll do less, kind of thing. It's just a completely different philosophy, isn't it?
It's incentives. No tax on overtime. Do that here. Do that here. So people will want to work harder. No tax on overtime. No tax on tips. Man, it's no tax on Social Security. I mean, CPP. Just help people. Just help people. Instead of creating a, what's that housing thing, Build Canada Homes, for, you know, paying $600,000 plus for a salary, and then, you know, billions of dollars, and it's supposed to end up building 26,000 homes over 5 years, according to the Parliamentary Budget Office. You know what I mean? Like, give those billions of dollars to first-time home buyers as their down payment. Eliminate the whole department, everything. Just give money, and then builders would go crazy. We're going to see like builders, construction layoffs are coming, huge. And it's just bureaucracy, like the Politburo. They create bureaucracy and more people to make 150,000. Like, I mean, the 3 odd offices that Carney added, 3 offices, all over $600,000 salaries, all over 600. One was just for buying equipment for the military, Build Canada Homes. And we can't forget Dr. Noma Meaner there. She's looking in the sky and looking for what to call UFOs, and she's making, what was it, $373,000 a year?
Trying to make sure that we don't discriminate against them if they come.
They don't want to be. But here's Donald Trump's interview with Politico when he calls out the EU leaders.
I'm friendly with all of them. I mean, I like all of them. I have no real enemy. I've had a couple that I didn't like over the years. I actually like the current crew. I like them a lot. But and I know them very well. I know them really well. Some are friends, some are okay. I know the good leaders, I know the bad leaders, I know the smart ones, I know the stupid ones. You get some real stupid ones too. But they're not doing a good job. Europe is not doing a good job in many ways. They're not doing a good job.
I want to ask
they
you
talk
about
too
that.
much, and they're not producing. We're talking about Ukraine. They talk, but they don't produce. I think they're weak, but I also think that they want to be so politically correct. I think they don't know what to do. Europe doesn't know what to do. They don't know what to do on trade either. I mean, I look at a lot of the trade, situation that's going on over there. It's a little bit dangerous, but Europe, they want to be politically correct, and it makes them weak. That's what makes them weak.
So how far would you go to take Maduro out of office?
I don't want to say that,
But you want to see him out?
His days are numbered.
That's good. And here's proof.
He also referred to Europe as decaying. That was another thing he said.
I think you and I have referred to that, Europe, as that many times. Here's our friend right now. She loves watching the show, her and Chrystia Freeland. EU President Ursula von der Leyen announces more immigrants coming to Europe. Just what everybody wants. Let's listen into Ursula.
And therefore, we must open more safe pathways, legal pathways to Europe. We must create more bridges between our continents. We must make sure that people can find a job where their talent is needed, match the skills, bring skills across our borders. And this is at the heart of our new talent partnership, which offer work routes into Europe. So far, 5 countries have signed up to them, and we hope that more of you will follow. This is such an important model to work on. We have just agreed to create a new talent pool.
That's good.
It will match.
That's good enough. You get the idea. More migrants for you. And this is after Marco Rubio and J.D. Vance said, you need to shut the door. You're ruining your countries. And
well, it's not just Rubio. It's Europeans themselves are saying that.
But
that's what's so strange about this. Ursula von der Leyen does not represent
we talked
the
about
European people, any European people. That's why she's not been elected to that position. She's been appointed to it.
Well, perhaps they should hold an election.
They're not led by people who, it seems to me, even like the European people. They're like a different caste. They're like a completely separate group of humans that don't really have any relationship with the people that they claim to represent. And that's where so much of the tension comes from.
Well, here's a German Chancellor Friedrich Merz. There you go. He said he informed the U.S. president that Germany has implemented new immigration and asylum policies, cutting asylum applications in half. And he plans to update the president on these results. Who's your daddy? Hey, why is he reporting to the Trump, right? Who's your daddy? Isn't that Mark Rutte said that Trump is the daddy to Europe.
Trump said that in that interview with that, Politico. He said like the daddy. He's the daddy.
Well, I mean, Mark Rutte started it when he called him daddy. But
yeah.
But here's Ursula saying take more immigrants, and here's Merz saying, well, no. But they're going to take half. And Urban has said, I'm taking none. Poland has just recently said no thanks. And there's noise from Czech Republic in the same way, right? But here's your friend.
No, nobody like France. The French don't want it. That's why they're on the verge of replacing Macron with the Le Pen party. They call it National Rally now. The Germans, like, he's worried about AfD.
Yeah, the far right.
Well, they get called far right extremists, but I mean, I find that increasingly difficult to believe when it comes to the National Rally in France. I mean, they are more in touch with the majority of the French population, I think, than Macron. So it's does it make sense anymore? Not really. Countries like Sweden, or the Sweden Democrats, are already a big deal over there, and it's happening everywhere. There's change coming.
And we also know that the people like the NDP and the Liberals are the party of yesterday. So we got a few things to get through. We got to be finished at 11 here. So here's Nigel Farage saying this is what he thinks about asylum seekers. Let's play a little clip here.
But if you as a country allow young men who come from countries in which women aren't even classed as second-class citizens, and you put them up in 4-star hotels, allow them to work illegally, their attitude towards women is completely different to ours. So the social effects of this are appalling as well.
This is Elon Musk retweeting this because he's on to the EU there. And this is a 15-year-old girl raped by 2 Afghan asylum seekers.
There's a video, very short video, of her being dragged into a park by these 2 boys, men, whatever they are. I can't remember how old they are. I think they're just teenagers. But I mean, I said this to you the other day, didn't I? It is literally every week and pretty much every day that I get a BBC News alert, because I have their app, or Sky News or whatever, some of the British media, that I get an alert saying, oh, another Afghan asylum seeker or whatever it is, somebody from Africa or whatever, accused of rape. I'm not exaggerating. I really kind of wish that I was exaggerating. It's so frequent that you lose track. So you hear about one in the morning, and then in the afternoon you're reading, and then there's another one, and you don't even realize that it's a different one. You still think it's the first one.
Just like the Liberal scandals and the NDP scandals. Like, there's so many, you can't even keep up. You need a scorecard here. And, the media, the government-funded, corrupted, crippled media, don't do them. Like, we showed you, how many scandals did we talk about here today on the Liberals and the NDP? How many? Which ones of those were on the CBC website? Which ones of those? No, they're talking about picking lines on a hockey rink.
We don't just report the news. We live here too. We're your neighbors, bringing you stories that matter to all of us. No government funding, no outside influence. Kelowna Now, local, independent. News you can trust.